What gave it away, the blue jersey?
Plus, we chew the fat with the Saints' tough guy, Coach Mike Ditka.
Same game.
Fox NFL Sunday.
More attitude.
Tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Now, let's take a bite out of the bad guys with America's Most Wanted. America Fights Back on Fox. Tonight on America's Most Wanted, America Fights Back. 14 rapes in New York City's most exclusive neighborhood by one man.
I had to do whatever I possibly could to save my life.
A team of cops is hot on his trail.
He's a predator. He's on a hunt, night after night after night.
But when the trail goes cold, they turn to our forensic artist for help.
The sketch looks exactly like him.
Now, the hunter becomes the hunted. Tonight, you ID him and we'll take him down.
It only takes one phone call to catch this guy.
Also tonight, so much money and so little time. The latest on the armored car driver who cops say took off with the big bucks, 15 million of them. And the latest on how you can collect the $500,000 reward. And
thanks for pampering me like that.
What if the guy you're dating turns out to be a con man?
Michael in the beginning's an angel, and in the end, he's the devil. He'll take you to hell with him.
4 women get taken by the same quick-talking smoothie.
She means absolutely nothing to me.
Tonight, they'll teach you how not to get burned by love. Also tonight, she was living the fantasy life until her husband found out.
What I do and who I do it with is my business.
Torn between 2 lovers, only one can survive.
You know I'll do anything that needs to be done.
Tonight, we've got a score to settle, because tonight, America's Most Wanted is where America fights back. Now, from our Washington Crime Center, John Walsh.
Good evening. New York City has really turned its crime rate around. New statistics show that it's the safest big city in America. But even in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in the Big Apple, danger is lurking. It's a case that police have been unable to crack for 3 terrifying years. Manhattan's Upper East Side is known for chic apartments along tranquil, tree-lined streets. But at night, this elegant enclave becomes a concrete jungle, prowled by a vicious serial rapist who's had a stranglehold of terror on young women in the neighborhood since 1994.
I felt like I had to do whatever I possibly could to save my life.
And I remember thinking, if I don't do what he says, I'm going to die. So I said, well, I better do it.
We spent time with detectives John Savino and John Beza, who head up the task force. They've been on the case since the very beginning, and they take their mission to find the East Side rapist right to the streets every day. The East Side rapist is elusive, methodical, and violent. The detectives have vowed to find him no matter how long it takes. They've been chasing his shadow, which only makes an appearance 7 months of each year.
Since September of '94, we haven't had any reported attacks in May, June, July, February, or December.
The biggest frustration with this case is the fact that for all the victims, there's no closure until this offender is caught.
This animal has hunted and raped 14 women, all as they entered their apartment buildings that have no doorman. All of his victims are young, attractive, and slender, and all have felt sheer terror at the rapist's demands.
He grabbed me, and he put a gun to my head, right to the side of my head, right here, and told me to go up the stairs. He told me to shut up and not to make any noise.
I knew that this man would have no remorse and would not have a single ounce of regret or guilt or sorrow about either killing me or beating me.
Hunting a rapist who moves from victim to victim, striking at will, is a frustrating challenge. But the detectives are driven to work 15 to 36-hour shifts to make sure the neighborhood's aware of the threat.
When you come home, if you come home late, just make sure the door closes behind you. Right. Actually turn around and push it closed. Right. And if you see anything like that, that's what we're interested in.
They haven't caught a break in 3 years, so the detectives brought in renowned forensic artist Gene Boylan. Her work began with a walkthrough of the crime scene area.
I usually like to go out to see where a crime was committed because it gives me more of a sense of what I can and can't ask or how to approach a specific victim.
Jean worked with 4 of the victims, spending 9 hours with each to create a composite sketch.
And I had a very clear picture of his face in my memory, but she was able to really translate that onto paper. The sketch that we ended up with really looks exactly like him.
The most common description I heard among everyone was about these round cherub cheeks. He's described as almost angelic, very baby-faced, very smooth skin, light skin, possibly black, possibly Hispanic, or a combination of both.
Once they knew what the rapist looked like, Savino and Beza needed to get inside his mind. For that insight, they turned to Jim Fitzgerald of the FBI's Profiling and Behavioral Assessment Unit.
He's a predator. He's on a hunt, perhaps night after night after night, that he may just choose to sit. And it might very well be a stoop, just like I'm sitting on here, where in fact he'll just sit and he'll wait for his prey to walk by. And it's at that time that he'll respond. And he may be behind them within 5 seconds and inside their door and their foyer within 10 seconds. But he has to take what he wants by force, be it knife point or gun point.
He's going to keep doing it until he's caught. Sooner or later, I'm afraid that someone's going to get killed.
Over 30,000 people live within the rapist strike zone. Finding him is as frustrating as his frequent disappearing act. But the disappearances themselves may be the best clues in this case.
One part of the pattern that does stick out is that, for whatever reason, he decides not to strike between mid-April and mid-August of every year. It may be that his job moves him to some other location. It may be something as simple as a school that he attends shuts down at that time of year and doesn't resume until August. Or it could be something as simple as him, someone coming and moving in with him for those 3 months. Perhaps someone else comes back from the job.
The attacks have taken place from 64th to 95th Streets between Lexington and York.
He's either lived here or lives here now. He's either worked here or works here now. Perhaps he's been to school here. Perhaps he's dated someone in this environment. But he knows this area very well.
The rapist's ability to blend in with his surroundings is confirmed by his victims.
He was young, he was average, healthy looking, clean. He just looked like the kind of guy where to look at him you would just think he was just an average, typical working guy.
The East Side rapist has been scared off and fought off on occasion. Yet he's continued to strike despite the best efforts of the task force. They're hunting him on his own turf and won't stop till they bring him down.
Have you seen that yet?
No.
Are you from town here?
No, I'm from
Chile? Okay. This is a serial rapist in this neighborhood.
Oh, yeah?
So if you hang out late at night, be careful. Okay?
Yeah.
We all have friends. We all have family members that could be his target. Protect them. It only takes one phone call to catch this guy.
We hope that phone call comes from you tonight. The East Side rapist is a light-skinned black or Hispanic, 5'8" to 6 feet tall. He's between 20 and 30 years old with brown eyes and long eyelashes. If you have any information, please call us at 1-800-CRIME-TV. Now, here's a reminder to police departments all across the country. This rapist has never struck in New York City in the months of December and February or May, June, or July. So please check your records for attacks during those months in your area, because your call could be the one that cages this monster for good. Now stay with us. We're just getting started.
Up next, in a Stevie Island paradise, they cook up a plot for murder.
How did it happen?
What skeletons are hiding in her closet? Find out when we return. And later, he seemed like Mr. Right to her.
He acts like he wants you. He acts like you're the queen. He acts like you're his princess.
And her.
He's just very charming. He becomes everything that you would want in a person.
And her.
He had a way of making me feel good about myself.
These women say one man sweet-talked his way into their bank accounts. Then Mr. Right turned out to be Mr. Wrong.
Listen to me, Marshall. I'm going to set my car on fire, and I'm going to drive it through your front door.